How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to what I think is going to be a very fun Watcher of Realms collab. I'm joined, as you can see on your screen, by the fantastic Ivylee. You want to say hey, Ivy?
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just going to start this off by saying me and Ivy are in the midst of a marathon collab session, so look out for plenty other collabs coming up between the two of us. However, let's talk about this video right here. We are going to be discussing the things that both we know are coming to the game and we are hoping are going to come to the game that we are most excited about. And you guys are probably very familiar with Ivy just because she's Ivy. However, you might not know that she's kind of an expert on this specific topic because Ivy is on top of those dev Q&As. She really knows. She's got her finger on the pulse is what I'm trying to say. So without further ado, let's kick it off. The first one is probably the thing that I know would make the biggest difference to my gameplay. I'm excited to hear what you're going to hear. I know this is really important to you too, and that is going to be gear presets. So what do I mean by that? Basically, you might have seen it in other gachas. I know Ivy and I both played Eternal Evolution, right? You played Eternal Evolution for a while?
Yeah. Yep,
yeah, and that was an edition that came early-ish on, which hopefully it might come early-ish for us now. And basically you could save sets. So like this is a nice Infernal Roar DPS set that I have on my Zeala 2. So you could title it like Zeala 2 DPS or Infernal Roar DPS and then save it. So it would just auto-equip what you actually want to go instead of the default auto-equip. And that would make a huge difference. Like let me know about how you move gear around, Ivy. But for me, I'm moving gear around constantly, and especially on like takeovers and stuff. And then I move everything off of everyone on people's accounts. It'd be so nice to just have this and have it reliable and just ready to go. Be the ultimate time save, right?
Yeah, it's one that's mentioned like every single dev Q&A that I read through. It's always mentioned. People asking for that feature. Personally, I don't think I'd use it as much as you. I actually really am a stickler in these games 99% of the time. Okay, 90, I haven't played that many games. But I don't like to move gear. I build a hero, the gear is staying on that hero. Like, I want to farm enough gear to build every single hero properly. I don't have the time, but that's the whole point, is it saves time. So maybe I would be more willing to have like my guild boss presets and try to maximize my damage the best as possible, like for a good example, if that was the thing. But I don't know. I still prefer to farm gear and just be able to leave it on the people.
I think, and I totally get it, because I think the vast majority of people are like you, Ivy, in that it's really annoying. I spend, I'm not even joking, probably at least an hour cumulatively a day on my account moving gear around, or at least I definitely used to when I really had to push higher content. Now I've kind of settled into a pattern because I'm kind of just stuck. Like, it's going to be a little while before I move to a higher gear rate or a higher guild boss tier or something like that. But I do wonder if you would be far more interested in doing it once it was that easy.
If it was,
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a preference thing, but if you do want to min-max the crap out of your account, there's no better way to do it to take advantage of what's really special about this game, that we can move our gear around for free. So I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Most people want it. I know that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a reason it's popping up on the Q&As, right? Let's talk about something that you are quite excited about, and I'm not that excited about. So let's flip it on its head here. Talk to me about the Battle Pass, the Gold Dragon Pass.
Yeah, so every time there's a Battle Pass, we get to like level 50 and that's it, right? Or whatever it is, 50, 60, whatever it is. And then that's it. And then the rewards after is like 1,000 gold per level, and you get nothing. And it's just, they just so highly undervalue gold in this game. And I've been hoping, I'd be happy if they just added a couple zeros to the end of that. And we just actually got a few million, and we got a few million gold, you know? Like, but at the end of it, by the time you're done, you're like, thanks for my 50,000 gold. That's wonderful. That's gonna go nowhere. I just really, really want a revamped extra gold pass bonus, which has been talked about in all the dev Q&As as well. More recently, they do say they are planning to kind of revamp the end bonus rewards, whether it be a random generated reward, changing the gold, having a shop, I don't know. But there's so many things they could do better than just giving us like such crap low-level gold that means nothing.
Yeah. No question. And they actually did recently quintuple this, right? It used to only be 1,000 extra gold per level. But I mean, 5,000...
They increased it? I didn't even notice.
It was 1,000 extra.
Feel bad.
But even still, I think you're onto something. Because like, how many... I'm trying to think what level I was on the last pass. Maybe like in the 70s?
Like 70... Yeah,
Yeah,
70s.
somewhere, let's call it 75, so we have a nice round number. So that'd be 25 bonus levels, right? So 25 times 5,000, that's like what, 1/8 of a million of gold. That's 125,000 gold. Like that's 5 failed attempts at a mythic gear. So actually, I think a couple zeros sounds a bit crazy, but 1 0 sounds pretty nice. And maybe change that, make it from 5,000 to 10,000. If it was 100,000 a level, I don't think that's so crazy to give you 2.5 million bonus gold. I think that'd be...
Yeah, that's what I mean. I want to see it over 1 million. I want to see it at least in the millions, ideally.
Yeah. I think they just don't get it. Really, I love the game. We love the game. Half the content all the content we're putting out to you guys is you and I, Ivy, saying how much we love the game. But like, I do wonder if they play test or how many people are actually playing sometimes, because the idea that 50,000 gold could ever be a worthy reward for anything.
Yeah.
So that'd be 10 extra levels as we are currently. I see you. Maybe it's just I don't think about this pass because the free-to-play rewards are terrible and I obviously don't spend any money.
Yeah, that's worse. I spend and it's crap. I wish that it was like, even if it was only if you spend, you get an extra thing. Like, make it more worth it,
I mean, I don't participate in it, but I'm all for free-to-play, pay-to-win content. If they want to juice this thing up and make it worthwhile to people and get some more money in the game, like, they should do it. But to me, it always seemed underwhelming, even if I was to spend money. Actually, this is 3 ancient. That's something.
Yeah, I buy it. I like it.
This is something. They got something. They got something going on here. Okay, let's talk about something else, which you informed me they have mentioned in the dev Q&A. And I've color coded my list, guys, and this is going to be something I love. I love the idea of, and I'd love to see, but I'm gonna believe it when I see it. And that is gonna be, will they add new epic and rare heroes to this game? Let me pull back the curtain for y'all. I spend a lot of time in the test server. Ivy, I know you do as well. I think I counted, on my last count, there are 2 epics on the entire test server that are not in the game. Now that, what's-his-face just arrived, Mr. Invisible that hits like a total noodle. Where are you, buddy? This guy, Vargas, right here. There's 2 others that are not currently named. 2. And this is including everything on test server, everything on Forerunner. Forerunner has been out for like a year and a half. For rares, there are 3, and they're bad. As the grindy, no-spend, free-to-play guy, I want lower rarity heroes that are viable, and I want them all the time. This is something other games, like a big ups to Raid Shadow Legends, this is something they did all the time. And it's something that another game that we both played, Eternal Evolution, totally neglected, and that game is not doing well. I think low rarity quality heroes are super, super important to the health of these games. It makes more fun. There's more fun things to play with. Let me know what you think, Ivy.
Yeah, I agree. That's my favorite thing about Dragonair is that the epics and rares are amazing, and you can complete all the endgame content with not a single legendary if you want to. And the fact that this game never improves or it never gives us new epics is kind of weird. Like, it's like, it's so weird in these games that have more legendaries than epics and rares. Like, it's strange. I feel like it should be the opposite. We should have more choices in the lower rarity. It doesn't make sense at all. Which makes sense why they haven't done 2 times epics yet, because there's not many epics in the pool. Everyone already has A5s, everything. That summon a lot.
Well, I will say, when you're starting out, a 2 times on epics would be the craziest thing ever, because it is hard to get the epics you're looking for at the beginning unless you're really lucky. 2 times epics, we can just transition right into that out of this, actually.
Okay.
I also have that categorized as a believe it when I'll see it. But yeah, just epics and rares are the lifeblood of these games as I see it. Like, that's where like the creative things are gonna come from. That's where like the cool free-to-play grind, the low spend grind comes from. Of course, if you have a team with Hex and Zealot2 and Twin Fiend Day 1 and so on, it's gonna be great. But what if you can find Azoth? I've been testing him a lot lately. You can make him work, right? That's when it starts getting interesting. So let's talk about 2x. You think it's gonna happen? 2x on epics?
They have specifically said that that is a plan in the dev Q&A, but that was like 3. They said that is something they're working on. I don't remember the exact words. It was like 3 or 4 of them ago. It was at least a month ago that they said that was a plan. That is something they are planning to implement. I feel like it was something worded like that. But the problem, I think there's not that many. And so many whales already have everybody anyway, except for the super rare ones. And like, I think they need to add more epics to the pool to make it more exciting. But the lack of 2 times epics is why I do not tell people to summon on a 2 times. I think it's the worst time to summon.
Absolutely.
There's no, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit 200 pity anyway with your rare crystals, and then what? Who cares? Like, I mean, at least for rare summoning crystals, I think 2 times is terrible. If they added 2 times epics, it would make it more worthy, just
Yeah.
like Raid.
That is spot on. Like, so when I did my free to play on Raid forever, I would never dream of summoning on a 10x because then you're missing out on 2x, but not 2x legendaries, 2x epics, right? So not having this was immediately like a shock to the system, shock to my system in this game. Don't love it. I don't love it. I also would be, I don't know, I just would be really keen to see these 2 points go hand in hand, right? The pool needs to expand. While you were talking, I was trying to quickly do some math in my head. So I know there's 46 of these normal epics. Then we have 7 plus Vladov plus what's his face, the new guy, Vargas, right? So we're talking 55 epics in the entire game. Like, look how many legendaries there are. It's already almost even. It took Raid years to even out those pools. They're doing so many things right, and this is something, this is a change I know I would love to see come. Let's talk about something that I think explicitly you said they mentioned is coming, Ivy, which is the background farming.
Yes, that was actually mentioned in layout, probably the last 2 or 3 dev Q&As as well. Cool. In some manner, they have alluded to there's going to be a way to farm gear and then, or farm in the background and then kind of just let it, let it go where you can actually be farming your whatever while you're doing guild boss. They did allude to that a while ago in a little bit better detail, but they kind of keep lightly mentioning it when people say they want to be able to multitask or something. But I haven't seen any real notes on it properly since. I don't know how long
at least it's in the ether. We'll see if it materializes.
It has been mentioned, yeah.
But the idea that I could throw this on an auto battle, right, and do an artifact material raid and like go do a little gear cleansing or run my guild boss or run my faction trials, which I'm always like going to bed at night. I'm like, shoot, I gotta do my basic faction trials. Like to just have that running in the background.
That's the hard part though, because this game uses it's going to use your characters as they are. So if you're changing your gear while you're running that, does that mess it up? So I guess that's the complication that they're probably working on. Maybe that's part of the issue why it isn't in the game yet, is because they have to see how to navigate that.
I wouldn't mind if they put the onus on us though. Like, hey, if I want to run my basic trial, but I know I moved gear off of Morgan to put it on, let's say, then it's on me. Then I like that's kind of how it is for me already since I'm moving my gear around. So. That'd be a trade-off I personally would be pretty willing to take. Let us know what you think of background farming. I think it'd be pretty cool. I've never actually played a game that had that. Here's something a little silly. Let's talk about hero avatars. I had a call before this with some viewers, and they made a good point. We don't really have any hero avatars. You can see there's only one hero avatar in the whole game I don't have. And that is top 1 in the whole arena. So I think most of us don't have this, if I'm not mistaken. And actually, I think almost none of these are premium, right? Like this you got from reaching Overlord. This was like a freebie that you could purchase. I believe is an avatar purchase during the Captain Reeve Treasures in the Deep event. Everything else is default. And people think I'm not for pay to win stuff. Just because I'm not going to pay to do it doesn't mean I don't want it in the game. What an easy cash grab, €5 and then 5 USD, and next thing you know, you get a Valkyria looking badass or something. Like, why not? Why don't they have that? It's such a little thing, but wouldn't that be cool?
I think more so not even having to pay for it. I've never seen a game charge for avatars except for bonus rewards, avatars when you buy a battle pass.
Yeah.
Like when you do buy a battle pass, you get a special avatar maybe, or But for me, what I want to see is what almost every other game does, except for Raid in this game. And when you pull a hero, you can have them as your avatar. You want to show off the fancy hero that you got, and you're so proud of, like, I have a Hutsit. I want Hutsit to be my avatar. Like, people like to have that as kind of their badge of honor, like pulling that rare hero.
I never even thought. Yeah, we had that in Eternal Evolution. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, almost every other gacha I've played except for Raid in this game, I feel like has had that.
The other fun thing they could do with it, which Raid kind of does with the Doom Tower, is just like have it an accomplishment avatar. So it's like, you beat this hard level. Now it's just like it's such a little show-offy thing. It's like a zero effort, I feel like, on their part, and it's just gonna make the game more immersive and get people more engaged. I don't know, small little thing. All right, here is something in purple again on my list, and that means I'll believe it when I see it. So I want more reworks on all the champions of the game. I want every patch. This is a pipe dream, maybe. I know they talk about it all the time. You've mentioned Assault. I've seen it also in the notes that they mentioned Assault.
Yeah.
We saw something going on with Gluttony. But it'd be fun if just like, we know there's going to be some rework for 2 or 3 champions, like 2 legendaries, 1 epic every patch. Because patches are pretty infrequent. If that was a guarantee, it seems like it's already happening. But I would just love, I love reworks. Keep it fresh.
But maybe a little more often.
Yeah, maybe
every
2 weeks.
Patch, I feel like there has properly been some sort of a buff or rework, but yeah, it's not much, or maybe could be a little more often. or just a little bit more with a lot of these epics and or legendaries that we're all so disappointed in.
For
Like
sure.
I said, Nasalt, they've mentioned it. Every friggin' dev Q&A is another, oh yeah, Nasalt will be reworked, or like I feel like they just keep mentioning that one as a bad example. But where is it? You keep saying it's happening. Where is it?
Yeah.
You've been saying that for 2 months. It's been a while. Where is it?
And another thing we could tie directly into this that I've mentioned, I think in my talk with Ma Bucket, but just something I talk about and think about all the time, is we just need fresher mechanics, right? So like Ivy, we both came from Raid, and like they do have way better debuffs and more interesting debuffs and way better crowd control stuff, and like just more extra mechanics to make the game a little bit more of a thoughtful experience. Like what if they took Cratch and gave him something equivalent to like Fear, right? Or something, you know, you take these low guys and they don't even have to buff them and turn Cratch into some crazy Comet level DPS, right? But they could give him some cool utility function. Or Shamir. Shamir's basically like a poor man's Mari, which makes no sense, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I say. It's like, you have Mari, you don't need Shamir.
What if they had the Shamir thing? What do they call it? His little aqua vortex. What's the name of his thing? The drowning water. What if drowning water was like some brand new, like actually unique, actually interesting crowd control effect? That'd be a nice way to fit in a rework.
That's a good idea.
And also, you know, make the characters more interesting at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's a straightforward one. This one I think, and I keep saying I think, but this one I do think you said for sure is coming, and that's the summons counter. I know Dragon Slayer community put a video.
Yes, they very specifically said that so many times. They've worded it different ways, though. The very first time they talked about adding a summon counter, they worded it in a way of, like, archiving your summons. To where you could go look, like in Genshin, you could look and see every summon, but you have to manually count yourself and see what you've summoned. But more recently, I don't think it was the last Q&A, maybe one before, or a random other thing posted, they did say specifically, like, there will be, like, an actual pity number somewhere. I don't remember the wording, but it sounds more promising that it's actually going to be like, how many sent your last legendary or something at least.
So that'd be cool. I also think that being a secret, like Raid keeps it a secret, right? And then people have like the RSL helper. I think it would lead to more money by disclosing it than less. People like,
because people would be willing to spend money to get 20 more summons, you know?
People get crazy with these games. Let's be honest. They're like, it's only 77 more summons. And you're like, I'll just spend the $40. You know, like people are going to do that.
I agree.
Everyone can go. Have you seen the Dragon Slayers video from Forerunner they put out?
No, I haven't seen that. Did they actually add it on
It's
there,
on Forerunner. I haven't checked exactly how it works, but I saw a clip from the video, and he did like summon Voltus in the video, and then you could click in, and like there was a picture of Voltus, and there was like a ledger kind of keeping track. And I think there's a
that's
countdown.
what I was expecting. A ledger. Yeah.
So a combination of the two would be great, and I honestly think it'd lead to more money. I really do. So
I agree.
Awesome. On to the next. Let's talk about something near and dear to your heart, and honestly, I love it in this game. I didn't even think I'd be so impressed by it, but the cinematics.
Yeah.
I'll tee this up for you, but I want more. I love them. I want more. I don't like that you pull Arrogance, who should be like a mind-blowing experience pulling Arrogance the same way it is with Zealot 2 or something, and then look at that. There's no button. There's no thing. You know, someone like Volca, you get the coolest thing ever when you summon her. I think it's your intro video, right? It's so gosh darn cool.
Yeah.
But then some amazing heroes like Arrogance, Comet, no animation. You just summon them and like, oh, look.
Or even people... I remember even just Zealous. He looks so cool. Like, how can Zealous not have one? Like, Comet, Comet's huge and looks amazing. How does he not have one? Like, I think... And then what annoys me the most is they have them. Like, okay, Valeria. They could have taken that really cool clip from the Wild Sands event. That's her intro.
That's so true.
Kineza.
Did they not use it for Kineza?
Trailer. It's not in the game.
It's the
Why
coolest
is it
trailer
not in the
ever.
game?
And they did the exact same thing with Hex. The Hex trailer is his cinematic, right?
Yeah, like usually they have these things on YouTube where they're little clips, and sometimes they don't actually put it in the game. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because
Kineza has that video,
We encourage anyone to go check the Kineza video. Is wild. It's like some crazy
cool.
like Avatar meets Genshin Impact, like flying through. It's so cool. Like I think even just give them really boring ones, but just the fact that it's like poof, oh look, that's Arrogance. Just it's wacky to me. But
I agree.
Let's turn to a positive. Some of them are just like that Hex one is just like, it's wild.
Yeah, they're amazing. That what they do have is so good. And I remember like Vierna. They had that Vierna one. That was another one. I'm like, and they added it to Forerunner server, but then they didn't add it to the main server. I'm like, is it really that complicated to just add it to both at the same time? Come on, why do we gotta wait for that?
I'm no computer scientist, but it sounds like a little copy paste action to me.
Yeah, I think so.
Ivy, shall we shift our focus to the guild boss? I have two things I wanted to get your thoughts on for this. First one, I think there's been mention of the test mode for guild boss.
Yes, that was just mentioned. They called it like a trial mode.
Okay, cool.
But I don't like the sound of that, honestly. It's not good enough. So, okay, you have guild boss, and then you can go to the guild boss trial mode. You practice, get the timings perfect. Cool, I finally did it. Oh wait, I gotta go do it again on the other one, the real one.
Yeah.
Like, why can't they just make a button be like save it or not save it? Like raid with Hydra boss, like Dragonair with Vortex. Just say accept the key or not accept the key. Why? I feel like that is easier than making a whole separate game mode.
You sound honestly. When I heard this was coming, when a viewer mentioned it, I was like, that sounds unreal. But now that you put it that way, it's like, okay, they're coming up short.
I don't like it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's okay. Sure, we can play around. It'll be great for us as content creators to make videos testing, and we can do that in a video to test characters, sure. But for the sake of our actual account, when you take the time to really perfect the timings, and the RNG goes perfect, and you get that one, you finally get the top chest, and then, oh wait, that wasn't real. Like, that feels more frustrating.
Let's be honest, like, we love the game, but one of the most exciting things, but also most frustrating things about the game is it might be that half second for when you place that unit or when you click that
it really
ult button.
matters.
So if you're,
it does.
Honestly, you're so right. If you nail it, why do they make you do it again? And then you might have to just hit your head against the wall a few more times.
Yeah.
I will say though,
almost they tried. It's like you tried.
I feel like I'm the resident thirsty for Pyros content creator currently. And I know for me, I'm going to want to put out endless Pyros content. And thankfully, I have the test server. But I know other people, when they finally get him, he's hard to use, right? So you don't want to have to go fail 6 runs over 3 days or something, right? You're actually going to have to get in there and test it. So it sounds really cool. Now something that we will agree on, because everyone's going to agree on. We need better jobs in the guild boss. We just need better, higher frequency good jobs. And to be clear,
just not giving us the crap, at least.
That's
get rid of the crap at the top chest.
Yeah, let's be honest. So I've spoken pretty extensively with Ray Panassis and Arcturus from Dragon Slayer's community. These guys are some OGs. I think combined they're coming up on 900 days played on Forerunner, right? I don't think you know the answer, so I want you to guess, Ivy. Do you know how many legendary soul stones they've summoned together between their 2 accounts, both a year and a half old?
Oh God, no idea.
5.
No idea. What?
5. 3 for Ray and 2 for Arcturus.
That's
so
crazy.
One way they could do that, and I'm not saying they need I've gone on record saying this, like once every 2 or 3 months is fine, but twice a year is
have some sort of a pity to where you can get it
like
at least every so often.
Every 600 chests, like fine, but like do something, because then you get one every 150 days. But because we have, and like you said, get rid of the bad stuff. Like we have so much bogus in here. You could be getting the 50,000 blood mythic Nightmare 4 chests, and you could still be looking at 3 spirits.
Yeah, those are terrible. I don't even like look at ascending gear yet. I mean,
look at this, right? So Mother's Spirit is for Gear Raid 1 materials, right?
You can use 200.
It for it takes 200.
Right?
It's for Immortal Warrior. You can turn your life force into Immortal Warrior. I don't farm Gear Raid 1 as much as some crazy people, but I farm it a lot more than the average person. I'm at 107. I've been at 119 for like a month and a half, and I'm halfway to 1 level up. So they need to make these like dropping 30, or they need to take it out.
Or the blues. Oh my God. If you're getting the third or the fourth, like highest chest, you should just not be able to get the rare chest if you're getting the highest chests in your...
It's crazy. Do you get them actually from the 20,000 chests? Let me check really quickly.
I get, on Nightmare 4, I don't know how many times I've gotten 2 blue chests. And that should not happen. That just should not happen.
Look at this. Who is hitting this? Who is hitting 65? So I'm right about 10,000 right now for my Nightmare 4. Yeah. I've had one run at 11 and a half. I'm going to put the effort in
15, 17.
Yeah, so you're getting that third one. Even in that third one. Okay, so even in that third chest, guys, you're getting a rare skill crystal. Bogus. So one thing they could do to keep the premium rarity going with like the legendary soul stones, the legendary summoning crystals, whatever the heck this beautiful thing is that I've never seen. Oh, this is when you get like the Captain Maw fragments, right?
I got 1 Maw fragment.
I got one too. We're 5% of the way there.
Yay.
But we keep them rare, but trim the fat. Let's get freaking legendary extract. Oh my God.
I have like 400 of those. I wish I was kidding.
I have 79, so you're gonna step up on me, but that's too many. That's way too many. But what a nice transition, almost like I planned it, into a conversion shop. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That's definitely, yeah.
That's definitely coming?
That's been one of the most talked about things, is people asking, what do I do with all this rare skill dust?
True,
Like,
yeah.
can I please convert it to epic? Or just something that simple, improving the conversions. And they've definitely, every single patch or dev Q&A, dev insights has said they are going to add some sort of conversion or shop. Just like improving the Awakening shop too. Like, those are things that keep being mentioned every single dev Q&A. We're just waiting to see it now.
Because like if we look here, if we check, I'm on day 85. For a player that plays as many hours a day as I do on day 85, I don't think anyone uses rare heroes more than me. I go out of my way to use rare heroes. And yet,
and you still have,
I sit
I don't
at
wanna know.
6,236 rare skill crystals, 55 rare skill crystals. So okay,
I don't want to look at mine.
nice to hear that it's coming. Fingers crossed, dedos cruzados. Let's wrap it up here with two things that I don't think any specific mention has been made of. I'll start with the thing that I don't know if it has, and the other one I'm almost certain it hasn't. These are things I want to surprise you with that I'm most excited about. So the first one, have they talked about more ways to get auto battles?
No, that's never anything I see.
I actually just filmed right before we got on Ivy. I just filmed a shop guide, and it's crazy how much of my resources I dedicate to buying auto battles now. It's the only thing I've ever bought from the Awakening shop. It's the only real roadblock in my game right now. It's the only hurdle because what?
It reminded me there was one mention of it one time.
And
it was hilarious. Ready for it?
Please,
it was great. Someone complained about the lack of auto battles for free-to-play people. They're like, you can get more auto battles. Just buy the privilege card.
Yeah. So the privilege card is a great way to get them, but people that get the privilege, heavy. I mean, what is it? 30 extra, 40 extra day, and it stockpiles. It's crazy. But as someone that doesn't have it, I have 340, and that might sound like a lot, but if I want to push hard in this artifact material raid, I need 1,000. So what I do, because I'm sweaty, is I do them one by one. I just put up 12,000 points.
God, no.
I just put up 12,000 plus points in Gear Raid 1, and 7,500 I did manually, just one by one by one. And most people aren't insane, so most people aren't going to do that. So even if they make it cost diamonds, but it's like permanently in the diamond shop, I mean, I'm in a unique situation. Let people spend their diamonds. I would rather give up on a 10x banner and put 4,000 diamonds into getting 1,000 auto battles personally. I'd love to see that. Also, they had it as rewards for Valeria and stuff before I knew how bad I would need it, but now for the Valeria Wild Sand event, but they don't have it for the Halloween event. Right. So that's one thing I was disappointed
there was a very small shop this time. I feel like it was good, but missing some things. You're right, that would have been a nice addition.
Granted, in their defense, it's like an abridged event, right? Like the Valeria one was like 2 weeks or 15 days.
That's true.
And this is like a weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap it up with something that I think maybe not a lot of people, unless they've talked to me recently, know I desire. But I want an in-game clock. I want an in-game timer, and I want it bad. So like the way we have the countdown clock in Guild Boss, I want a count up clock.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why, and you tell me what you think. So much of this game, especially when you're pushing beyond your means, you know, like when you're pushing content that's like the way you said Odd One's grinding the heck out of the game right now. He's probably doing everything he can to push that last inch of content every day, right? So often it's like, when do I need to place my Narvi or something? Or when do I need to pick this Vortex up and put down my cutter for artifact material raid, right? It can be down to like within a 1 second range. And if I could see the clock as a visual clue instead of counting like the cost in the corner, it'd be amazing. And then moreover, to piggyback on something I think all of us have complained about, I think actually you less, but I know Ma Bucket literally just released a video today. I did yesterday or 2 days ago, and I know you did as well. Kriya, what a wonky kit she has, and so much of it is about heroes dying within 10 seconds. And I know it'd be hard to track, but it'd be nice to somewhat gauge what 10 seconds is when you're on like a 2x battle or something, you know, and know if she's going to work at all.
It would help with a lot of those. Yeah, with some of those kits where it's very specific. And so many heroes, like you said, using Pyros, using people like having timings. With Guild Boss, it's nice to have that where you can figure that out maybe.
Maybe selfishly
having
also,
that in other areas.
Just with like content creator brain, like if I'm going to put out a Pyros guide, right? I want to say, or like here's an easy one, Zeala 2, right? There's obviously an optimal time to trigger Zeala 2, and people say, I don't know if it was Ma Bucket or someone, but I know people in my Discord said X creator said this, and it's great. It's like when there's this many 3 minutes and 31 seconds, or I don't know what it is because I haven't seen the video, but that's when you trigger her ult on the first ult. And you can do that because there's an in-game clock. Imagine if you could apply that to all different content. For me, that'd be really exciting, you know? It's niche.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And again, I'm no computer scientist, but I think it would be easy.
Yeah, if they already have it in Guild Boss, I think they can easily add it in other ones.
Yeah, right? Just make it go the other direction. Am I crazy? Let's pull up Kriya, this beautiful disappointment. Any final thoughts, Ivy?
On Kriya?
on this, on what we want to see coming. We can throw out a Kriya buff.
Yeah.
Why not? I want a Kriya buff already.
Yeah, I think that... Actually, I like that the new heroes are not perfect. That needs to happen, because we don't need to be Eternal Evolution, where we get power crept every single time a new hero comes out. Every time there's new content coming out, you need the newest hero, or else you can't do it. And I don't want to see that. In these games, it makes you have... Like, that's where the pay-to-win really comes in, is where if you don't summon on that banner, you can't do content. And I don't want to see that for this game. Yeah. So I want there to be mediocre heroes. I'm okay with that. Kriya is boring for gear raid 19 and higher, but is she going to be amazing if you pull her on day one? Yes, she will be. She's not as bad as people are giving her credit for, in the sense of, if you do Aeon Fusion, and you have Iona and Kriya, like, you're going to have a great squad that's going to push you through content. It's fine. Is it going to get you to gear raid 1-19? Maybe not. Or to 20? Maybe not. But that's not the... Like, there's still all that time in between that people can value a hero, and maybe they're not the best in the game, but we can't have every hero be the best in the game.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to straight up disagree with you, because half of what you said I agree with wholeheartedly. I don't need... Every new hero doesn't need to be Comet or better. However, she should be Iona or better. And she's worse than Iona. She should
be. That's fair, yeah. She definitely relies too much on letting things die, so yeah.
So maybe that's the final thought. They're doing a million things right, but there's a slightly more finesse, a little tiny tweaks, a little more thoughtfulness. Thank you so much for joining, Ivy. Time for us to film another collaboration. Thank you so much. It's been a lovely pleasure having you here.
Thanks for having me.
See you later, guys.
Fastidious.